You're watching this video, so the chances are great that you enjoy what we create here at the Audrain. And if you do, why not take the next step and subscribe to this channel? You might also consider a membership in the Audrain Automobile Museum. We mount 4 new exhibitions each year featuring cars from the Audrain collections and loans from some of the leading collectors and institutions around the world. Click here to find out more.
What is a veteran car, one might ask? A veteran car is an automobile built from the dawn of the car to the year 1914, spanning the enactment of the Motor Car Act of 1903, which raised the national speed limit of the United Kingdom from 14 miles an hour to a blistering 20 miles an hour. The history of the veteran car run dates back to 1896 with the first emancipation run from London to Brighton in celebration of the abolishment of the Locomotive Act of 1865, colloquially known as the Red Flag Act, which stated that one such persons, while any locomotive is in motion, shall proceed such locomotive on foot by not less than 60 yards, and shall carry a red flag constantly displayed, and shall warn the riders and drivers of horses of the approach of such locomotives. The practice has been carried on ever since, and Audrain Motorsport has been proud to expand upon the tradition across the pond.
So, we are 48 hours, I think. 48 hours? 48 hours away?
I'll leave the counting to you.
48 hours away, we'll live with that. From the beginning of the 3rd annual Audrain Newport to Bristol to Newport Veteran Car Run. Boy, oh boy, I'm so excited. We have over 30 cars gathering here in Newport right now. And I'm here with Evan Ide, who is the kind of master, the grand master of this era. I don't think anybody knows much more than you.
Well, it's an interest of mine, you know. I spend most of my time with these kind of things. So, and I'm excited this year because every year we bring some cool stuff, but this year we've got this lineup of cars this year is phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to show you a couple of new things we brought this year. Straight out of Europe, these cars never been to the U.S. before. Fantastic. Both of these cars, and
they know which side of the road to drive.
They do. And the first one here, this little Didion Bouton came out of England. Super original thing. It's got all its original upholstery under those covers. You know, it's just charming, and it drives wonderfully. And it's just a great example of your definitive London to Brighton car.
It really is.
This
pre-04.
Yeah, this is your classic.
Because I was looking at this.
Coal scuttle.
The paint is original.
A lot of it is. A lot of it is
new restoration.
Paint on the hood. It's got little touch-ups here and there. You know, probably the last paint it's seen was 60 years ago. I've been fortunate to deal with some really neat cars over the years, but this one might take the cake. I mean, this thing is unbelievable. This car, and this car is 1898, and the technology and the sophistication of this car is off the charts.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about your McLaren F1 supercar or whatever, you know,
really?
This is the supercar. This is the finest automobile of the pre-20th century era. I mean, this is, so this car, in an era of cars were still almost experiments at this point.
Yeah, there were way more horses on the road than
and
these.
Maybe a single cylinder, or a simple transmission, simple drive. This car is a V4 engine. It's got individual throttle bodies on each cylinder.
V4?
Yep. It's got air-cooled cylinders with water-cooled cylinder heads. It's got probably the best brakes of any car on this tour.
Just to the rear, presumably.
Yeah, just to the rear. But it is the most exquisitely engineered and working car. It is just amazing in an era so early to have a car that's so phenomenally capable. Look at all these bone handles, matched handles. Look at the ignition switch. I mean, you've got a belt tensioner, you've got a reverse, you've got your spark advance, you've got mixture control, gas, clutch, brake.
It is all here, and this is the birth of the automobile.
The fact that the automobile had only, in France they have a head start on us, so they had been making cars for a little bit at this point, but what a giant step. They're just they're so interesting. There's so much history. There's nothing. They're extremely engaging to drive and use, and they're just a lot of fun. And no one can not see this car and think it isn't special.
No.
This is a real special piece of history.
Well, I cannot wait. It's fantastic. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Well.
So you're getting a little behind the scenes of what we do with our amazing team with Lee leading it, getting all these cars ready for the Veteran Tour tomorrow, which leaves from the Audrain on Bellevue around 9:30ish. But we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We have a lot of cars we have to get over there, and not all of them are, we can't just jump in them and drive. So we transport it to the museum, unload them, get them ready in the morning, and then drive them to the tour, load them back up, bring them here, do the same thing again. So a lot goes into these events, but it's absolutely worth it because of the experience that everyone gets to see these cars on the road, which is super unique. Cars prior to 1907, and we have about 30 of these cars on the road with some very, very significant cars. So very exciting. It's a lot of work, but it's all worth it.
So the 2024 Audrain Motorsport Veteran Car Tour is about to begin. And this year I'm accompanied by my friend Will on the tour. And we'll be driving in this wonderful 1907 Ford Model S. Now, you're familiar with the Model S, of course.
Yeah, the different
Tesla
one though,
version,
yeah, the one with the
exactly,
Charger.
Yeah, exactly. This is the one without that. And this is a spectacular car. Have you ever ridden in a car this old before?
I did for about 3 minutes yesterday. Other than that, I think the oldest car was probably from the 80s. So
from the 80s, okay. So these are a big leap for you.
About a 60, 70 year leap, or more. Almost 80 years. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And what's really terrific about this event, for me, is that I love time machines. And these are literal time machines. We are using this car the way the makers intended back in 1907, and that's extraordinary. We all carry cell phones that we can't use after they're 4 years old.
Yeah.
So the fact that we can drive this car on the streets of Aquidneck Island and up to Bristol, Rhode Island is to me extraordinary. And this is an amazing assortment of cars as well. You like technology?
It's beautiful. Honestly, I don't even like technology that much. So
well, you like progress.
I do like progress.
All right, so you can see progress here just on Bellevue Avenue. From the 1898 Moors through to the 1909 cars, it is absolutely astonishing just to see the Moors and the Fiat side by side.
Yeah.
And the fact that the Moors in 1898 has a V4 engine. I mean,
that's crazy.
Everything that we know in cars today was invented before World War I, and they're all here right now.
The perfect town to do it in.
Exactly.
Historical town, historical cars, it's hard to beat.
These cars would be right at home, sitting on this block when they were brand new.
Yeah. I mean, they still look right at home, so I'm just hoping that we don't have to do too much wrenching today.
There'll be no wrenching. This car, I'm not going to curse us, has always proved very, very, very faithful to me, and I know it will for us.
Awesome.
Well, it's going to be amazing.
Let's take it for a spin then.
Let's go. Well, the Audrain Motorsport Veteran Car Tour would not be what it is without the incredible support of our friends at Bonhams. You've been our supporter from the inaugural event 3 years ago, and I could not be more excited to see this incredible field, which it just says Bonhams all over it, doesn't it?
Yeah, you're so kind. I mean, it's definitely ingrained in our spirit to do things like this, but to walk out there today on Bellevue Avenue and see just 2-3 times as many cars, I think, it just shows how infectious it is, and it's just wonderful to be part of it.
And what's also great about this is that it's a great experience for the person who's driving the car, for the passengers in the car, and for the onlookers. Seeing all the people by the side of the road waving and taking pictures with these amazing smiles on their faces, because it's as if they're seeing a vision. Like, what? These cars are driving past, and of course it's very, very funny. Not that we ever break the speed limits, because we don't, but people think, oh, these old, very delicate cars. These cars can move. Some of these cars are really powerful cars, and even some of the lighter weight cars can easily do 25, 35 miles per hour quite easily.
Absolutely. I mean, they're different genres for sure, but I mean, they're sporting, and you also, in a very short space of time, you just see how things progress. I mean, you're talking about cars that are in sort of, I guess, 1902, 1903, and you've got 5 horsepower, and then within, a couple of years, you're driving a Ford like you're driving with, and it just whistles along, and but the engine size has gone down, the performance has gone up, and the thing is refined so quickly.
It is absolutely amazing, and once again, we couldn't be happier to do this in partnership with Bonhams, and we're looking forward to next year. We've got some great ideas for some tweaks for the event, and with about 31 cars in this year's event, I think we'll probably aim for 60 for next year.
I think it could happen. I mean, success breeds success, Donald. So
exactly.
I'm sure it's possible.
Thanks, Rupert.
Thank you.
We're here with our good friend Rob Kaufman, and he has, not surprisingly, brought an extraordinary car, this magnificent Fiat. Now, of course, everybody knows that I'm an Italian car guy.
Sì, certo.
And certo. And this is remarkable because everyone thinks of old cars as this sort of very spindly, delicate, slow-moving things.
Right.
This is an early supercar. How did you find this Fiat, and why?
Well, I like cars with some power, and this was kind of interesting because it was sort of a wolf in sheep's clothing. It's sort of a bit of we don't have the full wings on the back.
Yeah.
It's like a little bit of maybe a frumpy body, but these were speed record cars of the day. So this is an 05, 60 horsepower, 10.5 liter 4-cylinder Fiat.
1905, 60 horsepower,
Exactly.
10.5 liter. So this is a car that can get out of its own way.
Absolutely. So this was the Bugatti Veyron of its era, probably. So.
And one of the other things which I absolutely love, which is impossible to conceive of today, is the fact that this car ran races and speed records in a very stripped down basic body,
Exactly.
and then this touring body was put on
So
it,
they
so you
just
have
bolt
this
them on.
super high performance tourer.
Exactly.
So it would be as if someone took a car that ran at Le Mans and then put a long wheelbase 4-door sedan body with picnic tables in the back.
Exactly.
We can't do that today, and I think that's a pity.
He said, well, it's kind of fun though. I mean, really, we have a sport body for it, and all this comes off actually relatively easily. And that's what they did. Summer, winter bodies, like some of the cars, and it's a different era. But it's kind of fun to appreciate it. And this car in particular, it still has this is the original body, original paint, original interior. So it made it 120 years so far. So we'll try to keep it going. But so to me, the originality is an important part of the car, and that's one of the things that makes this one in particular special.
Well, you're a great caretaker and a fun guy to be with.
Thanks for hosting this event. It's great.
Absolutely.
Team Audrain does a fantastic job as always, and I would tell anybody, please come next year. This is great. So
Fantastic.
Keep it going.
Hope to see you here next year, Rob.
Cheers. Thanks.
I'm Matt Farah from The Smoking Tire.
Zach from The Smoking Tire.
And today we did the veteran run and successfully completed it. It's definitely not a race, but we also came in 4th.
We're making up for lost time because we did it 2 years ago. It took us about 14 hours. But this year we were riding and driving in a 1902 Yale.
Yeah, good car, very good car. 16 horsepower, 2 gears, 40-mile-an-hour car.
Yes.
And we were able to do it at a very reasonable clip, which is a lot more fun than doing it at 5 miles an hour.
Yeah, I didn't have to get out and push, which was a nice change.
Yeah.
We didn't hold up traffic on the bridge, so we didn't offend the entire city, which was also good. And we got there before lunch was even served.
Yeah, we got there early.
Yeah.
It's a very nice car to drive, really easy. I learned to drive it in 30 seconds. And it's got, it's different. It's you're really engaging with a machine in a way that you aren't doing in modern cars. But it's a real treat to be able to experience that kind of history, in motion.
Definitely. This whole event is very cool because you can see like the evolution of cars, and you can see some avenues that ended with this car, over here, but this one they continued putting, the gas pedal's on the right with this car. That's how things are today, but other cars not so much.
Yeah.
And you've got like steam power, and you've got single cylinder, and you've got giant 4 cylinders. So it's a weird mix of transportation.
It's pre-standardization.
Yes.
When everyone was just kind of doing whatever they felt like worked. The steam car is just like blowing it out over here. But hey, better late than never.
People
that was
arriving.
That was us last year, being real late. It's super fun, and if you are, into cars and not just the latest greatest, supercars, but actually trying new and interesting things, it's definitely a very fun novelty.
Yeah, I think if you can get a ride in one of these, it'd be a great experience for anyone who's into cars.
So, for us, the 2024 Audrain Motorsport Veteran Car Tour has come to an end. And we're here next to the car that brought me to the finish. Now, Will, it's not quite the car in which we started this morning, is it?
In fact, it's not. He blew the cap off of our oil canister, and then we lost power, so,
I have to say that I have had great luck as other people who have viewed videos here in the Audrain Museum Network have seen me drive that car in a solo video and in Manchester Motor Cars, and I drove that car in last year's Veteran Car Tour through the rain absolutely flawlessly. The only different parameter was, let's see. Oh, that's right. You were with me, Will.
I don't know about that. Hey, if people have seen our videos, they know we never break stuff ever. Never ever break anything, so I don't think it could possibly be my fault, but I'll take the blame this time because you're such a nice guy, so thanks for the ride.
But the entire point, Will, and we discussed this, is veteran car motoring is an adventure, so you never know what's going to happen. And frankly, it can never end badly, because to end the day with this wonderful car owned by our Audrain docent Ian Rivera, this car named Audrey after the Audrain Museum, is a spectacular, very late Model T. So getting that transition from the Model S to the Model T, we've given you Ford history today.
Hey, I've learned a lot, and I had a good time, even if it broke down. Cars wouldn't be fun if they didn't break down, so thank you very much.
Thank you, Will. And
I'll be back next year. Yeah, I'll be back next year.
In a car with a roadside warranty next time.
Yeah, AAA.
Hi, I'm Ben Teradash, and today I drove the 1907 Pierce 36 horsepower with 347 cubic inch inline 6-cylinder, and it managed to make it all the way there and all the way back, so I consider the day a success. So yeah, the driving experience is a lot of fun. It's a little scary being around modern traffic that doesn't know how long it takes your car to actually stop. But apart from that, the Pierce has got all the torque in the world, and it'll pull up any of the hills. It's got good brakes for going down hills. It's got good power on the flats. Probably got it up today about 45 miles an hour. So, for 115 years old, I think that's doing all right. Well, we had a heck of a turnout this year. We had some really phenomenal cars. It's an honor to drive with them. I mean, some of these cars are royalty. The Panhards that we have, you know, the 10-liter Fiat, the Lozier. I mean, these are cars that you don't ever get to see. These are cars you don't ever get to drive with. You know, these are cars that are almost, you know, that are incredible pieces of world history that you see in a museum, but you never ever have the chance to actually drive with them on the street. And to be a part of that is very special. It's a lot of fun. And can't wait to do it again next year. Hopefully we get the same weather.
Hi, good afternoon. My name is Whitney Overacker, and I'm a member at Audrain Automobile Museum. And today I rode along on their veteran car tour in the morning in a 1902 Boyer, and then in the afternoon in a 1902 Duroc. What an incredible experience to be in these cars that are over 115 years old. It's really like turning the clocks back. And what's so impressive is to see how each of the different companies were really pushing the envelope in technology and design and innovation at such an early time. And so that's what really draws me to these cars. It's just the origin of a lot of the technology that we appreciate today started such a long time ago.
Hi, my name is Dean Baker.
I'm Lisa Baker.
We're from just outside Toronto, Ontario, and we just finished the tour and we drove our 1902 Duroc 9 horsepower.
And I attempted to drive a 1903 de Dion Bouton.
Yes.
So it was my first time ever doing it. I had a 20-minute lesson yesterday in the parking lot, and we had some issues today. We had a flat tire and some spark plug issues, so we didn't quite finish it, but we had a good run.
Yep. We had a great run in the Duroc. We did do the whole tour. Car ran very well. It's a fun day. We had nice weather, no rain, so it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and as a bonus, our daughter was here with us, and my mother-in-law was with our brother-in-law and his family in their car. So we had a really good day.
Real family affair.
Well, we are here at the end of a fabulous day at the Audrain Automobile Museum at the JDM and Beyond exhibit, which is really a stark contrast to the cars that we've been enjoying all day, literally from 6 o'clock this morning. It's been hectic at times. It's been amazing. We had the incredible turnout and some fabulous people with just some of the best cars that you will see anywhere in the world, all pre-1910. And I think most of them really survived the journey. I know everybody enjoyed it. I think there are 1 or 2 cars that sadly couldn't make the entire journey, but I gather from the owners they are definitely coming back next year, and that's really so heartening. What we've created with the Audrain is, because we're in our 3rd year this year of the veteran car tour, I think we've created something that is going to go on and on and on. It's like a legacy. And I look forward to the future because I think the enthusiasm for early brass era cars, wow, I think it's one of those sectors of our hobby which is just booming because it appeals to everybody. It appeals to young people, middle-aged people, older people, everybody. Everybody loves the challenge of driving one of these cars, and I think it gets a great reaction, and there is nothing better than on a spring day, spring morning, get in your car, drive around Newport, drive around Rhode Island with great people in great company, just enjoying it for the bonhomie and the camaraderie of the road. I think it's just fabulous. I can't wait for the next one.